They say that the real hell is when the person you are meets the person you could have been. Being realistic is the most common way to get stuck in the middle. Why would you be honest? A lot of us choose our path out of fear, which we hide as being practical. It seems impossible and silly to expect what we really want, so we never ask the universe for it. What will it be like when your dreams come true? You go there, you go there. If you can convince yourself, how will it feel in that moment? That feeling is so good that you would pay the man what he needed to make your dreams come true. I had to stop thinking normally. I had to stop thinking in a normal way. I can't be a normal person anymore, doing normal things. I'm sick and tired of having to deal with everything. Sick and tired of being a nobody. Be the main character in your own movie. Forget about all the money problems, personal failures, and relationship problems you've had. If your life were a movie and it started now, what would the main character in your life movie do right now? Do that. People who weren't any smarter than you made everything around you that you call life. And you can change it, shape it, and have an effect on it. You don't know how great you are because you only use a tiny bit of what you have. You're always scared to make the first move because you can only see the bad things that are 10 miles away. But you can do whatever you want. You are not bound by anything. What do you care about? Why wouldn't you try it? Why wouldn't you take a chance at some point? You have to believe in yourself. I don't know what your dream is, but I can promise you that someone in the hospital right now is praying and begging God for the chance. Don't mess up what you have right now. It's time to go from average to amazing. Now is the time to go from being counted out to being counted on. And when you're depressed, your body is telling you, I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to hold up this avatar you made in the world. It's too much for me. For 75 years. If you're lucky, that's how long you have. 75 years. 75 winters, 75 springs, 75 summers, and 75s. It's not a lot of time when you think about it that way. Don't throw them away. Stop worrying about the little things that take up your time and get back to what's important right now, this very second. If you really believe you could be something, if you hear that little voice in your head saying, hey, you have talent, you could do this, then you should. Then do what that voice says. You were meant to do something great with your life. When you were a little boy or girl, there was probably one person who made you feel that way. You should give yourself the gifts of who that person is right now. When you were a little girl or boy, they made you feel like you were the only one. There might only be one or two. It could have been your parents, grandparents, or a coach. There was someone in your life who made you feel something about yourself because of how they looked at you or talked to you. And the best part about that is, they were correct. What good does it do to want to reach a goal if you don't believe you can do it? We haven't been giving ourselves enough credit since we were kids. You see, we linked our mistakes to who we are instead of our successes. We all live in a box and don't want to leave it at all, always outside of that box. There are all these things that could happen in life, but we do limit our minds. We are stuck in our own minds, and this is all I can do. I can only do this. People know that they live for themselves, but they don't know that they have the power inside them to make a difference in the lives of millions. Yes, by facing yourself in life. If everyone who feels like they're at the bottom and has nothing going for them changes their thinking to I have nothing going for me, that also means they have nothing to lose by taking action. It makes you a lot more dangerous. My parents always told me that I could be anything I wanted to be as a kid. You can do anything you want, and you know that office, that job, the highest office on the face of the earth. It was something I heard my parents say, but I didn't believe them completely yet. I went out into the world and held my head high. I stood there and looked people in the eye and talked to them like I was worth it. Of all the things this world has to offer, I just want to say to kids and to people who are watching that Confucius once said that both people who say they can and people who say they can't are usually right. I am proud of you. You already know that. I hope you do. You make me proud because I know how hard it is. We need to keep moving though to take care of ourselves. We have to keep going. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But keep going on your own. I want to get the most out of everything I have. And I think that if you feel like you have potential left over, it will eat you alive until you do something about it. Not just a few people are meant to be great. It's for people who wake up every day and choose to chase their dreams every day. So it's really just a way of thinking. Aspirations come from people who do amazing things, but they're really just regular people who wake up every day and do the little things that other people don't. So why do you think you keep dreaming about starting a business? Why do you keep thinking about graduating, finding a better job? Why do you keep thinking about getting a house? Why do you keep thinking about driving a really nice car? Why do you keep thinking about how you could get rich? Why do you keep thinking that? Because God is speaking to you. He is showing you something He has for you. Maybe I should just give up and go back to making noodles. Don't give up on noodles. Stop doing noodles. You're too worried about what has happened and what will happen. People say that yesterday is history. Today is a gift, but tomorrow is a mystery. That's why it's called present, and you won't want to do it until you really hate it. You might also have someone open a door and let in a little light, which makes you think, what if this is the time you stay sober? What if I really do change the way I think when I go to therapy? What if I could get over this narcissistic abuse that I've been having trouble with since that relationship or marriage? What if I could get out of debt? If that person did, I could probably do it, but I don't think you're going to change without hope or hitting rock bottom. At some point, every boy realizes that no one is coming to save him. That's when he becomes a man. Some boys never get there and stay kids for the rest of their lives. Other people calm down, man. Everyone will have this day. There comes a time when being average and mediocre makes you sick. It's just gross. You want to throw up because you've seen people with a lot less talent than you grow up with them, their childhood friends and other things. They didn't have what you had yet. It turns into something you don't have when that day comes. It's either when you're young and it hits you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you lose your 5th job and your wife and kids run you out of the house because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a day where push comes to shove, we're just average and everything burns. It really sucks. You can't take it anymore, so get off your ass and make something that's always been there. It's always been inside you, trying to get out, but you've never wanted to unwrap it because it hurts too much and takes too much time. You're afraid you'll fail, and you're also afraid that if you start, you won't finish. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to start until something bad happened, like getting fired or someone else getting rich. Remind you of what you could have been, and then the born to sparkle, and no matter what, I'll never be in this boat again. And you get up and go. Even if you get knocked down, you just keep going and going. You are crazy, and life has never been so good. That can happen when you're young. It can happen when you're older. It's going to happen to someone. No matter what happens to you, and when it does happen to you, be thankful that you are finally alive. It's time to open up the possibilities that are inside you. Better man, it's in you. It's in each and every one of us. And the people who have gotten to that level are no different from any of us. They just believed it and are willing to work hard to get it. People ask, what is your biggest fear in life? And to be honest, my biggest fear was this. I don't care if you believe in God or not. So this is a game. Let's say you are God, and we have a long line of people, and I got to heaven. I'm 75 years old. I weigh 300 pounds. I got to heaven. I worked for Ecolab my whole life, hoping for cockroaches. That's what I did. But I'm dead. I'm in heaven right now, and now you're judging us all. So we're all sitting there in line. You have Adam Brown, who has a big board up, and you're talking to him about his life. Then you rip it down, and I'm next in line. I see my name and all this junk, and God says, hey, you say read this, man. And as I read this list, I see 182 pounds of Navy SEAL Ranger School, a motivational speaker who is changing lives. Okay, dude, stop and write all this down. And I'm like, that's not me, man. And God says to me, that's who you were meant to be. And my personal question to you is, why not you? Leslie Brown is a speaker who motivates people. He used an example to explain this. He says, picture yourself standing around on your deathbed. The ghosts that appear at your deathbed are the things that could have been, the ghost of the ideas you never acted on, and the ghost of the talents you didn't use are standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and sad. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us back to life. They say, and now we have to go to the grave together. So I want to know how many ghosts will be around your bed when it's time for you to die. Everyone asks why we should work so hard. Why do you need to take so many classes? Why do you need to go to school for so long? You know why? Get the notes. Why should you read the books? What is the point of working so hard? Why do the push-ups and the rules? Why? That's a good question. Why? The second question, why not? is the best answer to why do you think. Why not see how many classes you can take, how many books you can read, and how many skills you can learn? Why not find out how useful you can be to your friends, family, and the market? Why not find out what you can do with your life? Why not find out how far you can go, how much you can see, how much you can make, and how much you can give? Why not? That's the legacy we all have, to see what we can do with our lives now that we've been given this amazing chance. And every morning when you wake up, you hold yourself accountable and write your own mission statement. What do you want to do with your life? And once you do that, you can work with someone to get better. You can work on yourself to get better, but you'll always be sitting down until you know what you want to stand for. You will never stand up for anything. We can be okay at what we do, we can be good at what we do, or we can be great, or we can be the best. Okay? And everyone can choose what they want to do and how they want to do it. But if you want to be great or the best, you have to do things that are out of the ordinary. You need to have a special level of intensity and focus. You need to have a strong sense of purpose, drive, and passion. Okay? To always do things at a high level and with a high standard. Okay? And it doesn't matter what God-given talent you have, it probably makes you a good person. But I don't think you can ever get great or elite without the rest of it. You can't make your life better if you don't do something different. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. Fear of success is what makes people put things off. You know, you'd win and be better if you did it. I didn't do it so I could be comfortable, and it worked out. I walked the dog and painted the fence. The next thing I knew, the chance was gone. Being myself again felt so good. You were meant to do big and small things that will make a big difference in your life. They thought it was a small thing. Just like the person who helped my dad. You may not be on Instagram or get 20 million likes or views, but you were meant to do something great. I'm going to say that to you again. You were meant to do something good with your life. You are not an average orator, so you were put on this earth for a reason. You weren't meant to be normal. You were meant to do well. You know that this grind is meant to help you become the person you were meant to be. A little grind never hurt a dog. No one. Stop being weak. Let's accept it. You're going to be very cold when you come out of that fire. That's what we need. If you feel it in your heart and gut, nothing, not even material things, should come between you and your look. We think too much about our past mistakes when we talk about ourselves. We look back at our past and say, that's me. That's not you. You are this person right now. You are the one who has learned from those mistakes. And right now you can be the hero of your own movie. Make a list of your goals. Make a list of things you want to get better at. Make a list of things you won't put up with from yourself. Make a list of things you've done in the past that you never want to do again. And go out into the world as the main character in your own movie. Most people run away from problems. But if you want to know if you're brave, when everything goes wrong, when your best deal falls through, when your rent is late, when you're sick and tired, when everyone is mad at you and your car doesn't work, it's the person who picks themselves up and says, nothing is going to stop me. What if I can pull off a miracle? What if I can change into someone that no one thinks I can? It's all in your head. What you think about will likely happen in your life. You will keep doing what you've always done. If you keep believing what you've always believed, you will keep getting what you have always gotten. Changing your mind is all it takes to get different results in your life or work. The only thing that gets us through life is our mindset. I was the underdog. In life, we are all underdogs. That is how everyone should think, even the best person in the world. So you should always think, I've never arrived. It doesn't matter where you come from, whether it's the sewer or somewhere else. If you think something is true, it shouldn't be able to hurt you. A lot of us come from these small places in our minds where we don't want to think about anything other than what we've seen. Our brains only work in a small space. And one thing I could do was dream. And that's when you really become what you're meant to be. When you can really put yourself into that dream. But don't let dreams control you. Let me see. I want to see what you do when you're sleepy. Let me see how hard you work. Come on, man. Get out of bed. Get up again the next day. Get up again in the morning. Get up again the next day. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Keep it up. Keep it up. How long can you keep a good attitude every day? Life is right there to kick you in the face when you get out of bed. You have to be ready for all the crazy things that life throws at you, and you have to deal with them. You can't roll up into a ball. You can't get away from it. You can't get away. You have to face all of this. You have to deal with both good and bad things that happen. The next day, you have to put your shoes back on and go to war again. I learned that winning didn't happen on the day of the show. It happens in the early morning during painful workouts, long cardio sessions, and hungry nights. It happens when you are afraid of a hard goal, and even more when you let that fear control you. Every second of every day it happens. How can you lose if you take every chance you get to get closer to your goal, win every one of those chances, and become stronger in the process? That is a great chance. You might want to be nobody. You might be happy with where you are in life right now. You might not have the drive to become a better person. This is real, man. This is real. You need to picture something that is stronger than you. You have to wake up something inside of you, and usually you're the only one who can do it. But if you don't have a little fire, just a little bit, you're finished. I can't do it for you. I can't light it. You have to put yourself in situations that make you uncomfortable, okay? You will have a hard life if you do easy things. You will have an easy life if you do hard things. Let me say it again. You will have a hard life if you do easy things. As a man, you need to know that doing hard things will make your life easier. Men do better when they are in situations that make them uncomfortable, okay? If you put enough pressure on a rock, it will become a diamond. The comfort zone is a bad place to be. When you feel safe, you are at your most dangerous. The comfort zone, is a place you need to be. You should never feel at ease. You should feel both happy and unhappy. Has anyone ever said to you, hey, look, you know what? Be happy with what you have. Don't trust them. Get them away from you. You should never be happy with what you have, because trying to get more makes you a better person. Don't let anyone tell you, hey man, you should just be happy. No, if you're having a hard time, angry with yourself. If you feel like you've had enough of yourself and your excuses, I've been there, and so has Steven. This is a normal part of being human, and at some point, either the pain, it's gonna get big enough, or you're gonna run into someone on this planet who has been through what you're going through right now. And right now, there is something about their story that will spark something in you that is missing. And what you need right now is hope. Because when you're stuck, and when you are, if you're on a downward spiral, whether it's just in your own head or in self-destructive behavior, the one thing you need is hope. You don't think anything is gonna change right now. Grow as a person, get out of your comfort zone. Don't stay in your own world. Add more air to your bubble. You will fail if you stay in your comfort zone. You will fail if you stay in your comfort zone. Getting to success isn't easy. You have to get used to being uncomfortable if you want to be successful. Because trying to do it is very hard. I really want to sugarcoat this for you. I love to tell you that you can go out and get rich. Do a few things that aren't going to happen. You have to be real doish. If you want to make it now, you have to get really funky. If you want to be normal, you don't even have to listen to me, as I told you before. Just go about your business. It's fine if you think ordinary is cool. These are some really, really great normal people. But if you're in this room and you want to do something great, you'll have to do more than just sit here. People get stronger when you teach them to stand up to their fears, and you don't know what the upper limits are, because you might ask yourself, if I didn't do what I knew I needed to do for 10 years, what would happen? What would you be like within the value structure you've made, to the extent that you've done that? There are amazing people who come into the world from time to time. Some people find out what they could be like over decades of being who they are. We don't know what the limits are for them. They keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. You could say, well, in part, maybe the reason you're in so much pain can be left at your feet. You're not everything you could be. I used to be full of worry and fear, but now I'm not. You'd be wrong if you thought that change happened in one day. In fact, there was never a day in all these years when I felt like anything had changed. So if you're not happy with your life right now, you need to stop thinking you deserve a quick fix. You should be ready to work without getting paid. If you're overweight, you need to eat well and work out regularly, and you need to look the same for a while. And if you're sad, you need to treat yourself like gold, even though you feel empty inside. That being said, don't bid on one. I promise you that all the work you put in will pay off in ways you can't even imagine. Yes. So when you wonder if you have anything left, no, a day from then, a week from then, a month from then, or a year from then, you will never remember how bad the pain was. You'll always remember the try, the accomplishment that lives on. That's why pain doesn't last long. Guys, pride lasts forever. You put in all your effort, you get it all 10 times over. Hey, you guys are sitting there now, and the hardest step is the first one toward greatness. But there is one thing that is harder than that, my friends, and that is later in life, the windows of opportunity have closed as you look back on your life. You don't have the ability anymore, and you think back to how great you could have been right now. You could have avoided having that argument in your head. That's the argument. You can never win. You might have helped with everything you do, but it's up to you. You have to choose whether you want to be a badass or just okay with being okay. But being a badass hurts. You can't lose. Just learning. There are no problems, only chances, and there are no failures. Just answers. To me, failure is the mother of all success. Michael Jordan wouldn't be Michael Jordan if he hadn't been cut from his 9th grade basketball team.